Could you explain what Medicaid crisis planning is?
Welcome to Barry's Bites. Please join our host, attorney and financial advisor Chris Barry.
Medicaid is a governmental program that can pay for your nursing home care. To qualify for Medicaid, a single individual can only have $2,000 worth of countable assets. Married couple at most can have about $150,000 of countable assets. Countable assets are everything other than a home, small cash value of life insurance, personal belongings, prepaid funeral, and an automobile. Everything else is a countable asset. So your IRAs, your 401ks, your annuities, your spouse's accounts, all of those are countable assets. And then Medicaid looks back 5 years to see if you moved any money around, and if you have, they're going to penalize you. So one of the pre-planning strategies, and the strategies more clients did, so we actually ran the numbers, and the majority of our clients were doing what we call castle trust, which are asset protection trusts that as soon as you set up the trust, you move the asset into the trust, it starts a 5-year race where if you can make it 5 years before you need nursing home care, everything inside of the trust is protected from that nursing home or Medicaid spend down. Pre-planning, that's where a lot of times we set up the asset protection trust, we move the assets into the trust, starts that 5-year race. But as a certified law attorney, we also have what we call crisis planning. So this is available. It's kind of in our back pocket. We don't like to rely on it, but this would be a situation where you have a loved one in a nursing home right now who's paying $10,000 to $15,000 a month. And let's say they do have assets. Maybe they have $500,000. And so one option is you pay $10,000 to $15,000 a month until you get to that asset limit, and then you can qualify for Medicaid. Or the other thing that we have available as certified law attorneys is we can do what we call Medicaid crisis planning. And this is where they're always kind of moving the cheese on us or changing the rules versus planning ahead. Like the government doesn't really penalize people who plan ahead. Like they've changed the look back period from 3 to 5 years back in 2006. But when they made that change, they grandfathered in any prior planning. So the government doesn't really come down hard on people who plan ahead. But when it comes to planning at the last minute, they're always kind of changing the rules on us. But big picture, the way it works is that if you did have a loved one in a nursing home now paying $10,000 to $15,000 a month, there's things we can do right now to protect roughly half of the assets. We call it a half loaf plan. Think of it like a loaf of bread. Half the money might have to go to the nursing home. The other half of the money we could protect. It's kind of complicated how we do it. There's couple different ways that we do it. One is using very specialized types of trusts, which in the past Michigan has come down on. Michigan is allowing those now, but it's still kind of risky of whether we use those types of trusts, or we can also use some other strategies. But big picture, think of it as if you do have a loved one in a nursing home right now, there's things we can do even within the 5-year time limit to protect at least half of the assets. It's pretty complicated, pretty time consuming, pretty stressful to get it done, but it is possible. We'd much rather plan ahead where we can protect up to 100% of whatever's in the trust versus the Medicaid crisis planning where we can protect maybe 50% depending on the situation.